The NASCAR Cup Series race concludes for Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we see Ford put up domination and Joe Logano make a last lap pass on Brad Keselowski to pick up Ford's first win of 2023 and his first win of the 2023 season. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Cup Series race from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the And Better Health 400. We got quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So, before the green flag dropped in today's race, a couple drivers will have to start at the rear of the field. Chris Rebel have to start at the rear for unapproved adjustments, and I believe BJ McLeod also had to start at the rear of the field. So at the start of the race, he had Joe Logano lead the field from the outside with Austin Eric on the inside, and Joe Logano was able to hold on to the race lead and held on, and they got to the outside lane and became a single file train. The first caution came out lap number 10 for Bubba Wallace, who spun off of turn number 2 from 19th position. Just got loose behind Kyle Busch. Just got loose. One of the early favorites in the race hit the inside wall really hard and was basically taken out of contention immediately. We saw a little bit of strategy where guys like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., BJ McLeod, Corey LaJoie, Mark Trick Jr. came in while the rest of the people stayed out. And Ryan Preece got a penalty for having a crew member over the wall too soon. So on the restart, Joe Logano lead the field from the outside with Brad Keselowski on the inside, and we saw Joe Logano able to get the race lead. And straight up, Joe Logano took the lead and dominated. There were people trying to make moves early in the stage, but no one really had anything for him, and Joe Logano would dominate. No one would really make a pass, and he would dominate and win stage 1 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Then all the lap cars would come down pit road, with Kyle Busch actually winning the race off pit road because they didn't really fill the car up enough, and he actually ended up winning the race off of pit road. So on the restart, Kyle Busch lead the field from the outside with Brad Keselowski on the inside, and Kyle Busch was able to get a massive push from Ryan Blaney and was able to get the race lead. Then a few laps later, Ryan Blaney got around Kyle Busch and he took the lead. About 5 laps later, Kyle Busch got back by Ryan Blaney for the lead, and then eventually Joey Logano got back to the lead on lap 77. We continue seeing domination on the outside. No one really tried to run the bottom, and pit stops happened on lap 121 with Austin coming in first. Then the next few laps, we see Kyle Busch and Mark Trick Jr. come in. Then basically a lot of guys started coming into pit road. Then on lap 132, we saw the Penske cars come in, and Ryan Blaney got a speeding penalty, which would put Ryan Blaney pretty far back and would out of contention really in the race. After green flag pit stops had happened, Joe Logano actually had the race lead after the pit stops happened. Tyler Reddick actually gained a lot of spots off at pit road because Tyler Reddick only took fuel only, while some drivers took 4 tires, as Kyle Busch also took 4 tires as well. We basically see, on the last couple laps, they tried to start making moves in the final few laps of stage number 2, and Joe Logano was having the lead coming out the final corner, but Tyler Reddick made a move to the inside, and Austin got a really good run on the outside, and coming off the corner, he would win stage number 2 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Then after that, all the cars would come down pit road. Eric Almirola deciding to take fuel only off of pit road and would win the race off pit road. Then Tyler Reddick had to come back down pit road to basically get, after not getting enough in the fuel in the side of the tank, and would basically fall to the rear. So on the restart, Eric Almirola lead the field from the outside with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the inside, and we saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. get a really strong push. It was basically back and forth for a few laps, and Stenhouse was able to clear. Then Denny Hamlin, a few laps later on lap 176, was able to get around and take the race lead from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And then Kevin Harvick got 7 laps later. We saw some good racing, and Kevin Harvick got to the inside lane to pass Denny Hamlin for the race lead. And then on lap 190, the first major accident of the day would happen. A lot of us thought it was Ross Chastain getting it back Kevin Harvick, but Kevin Harvick got loose, got arrow loose, and Chastain didn't get into him. We all blame Chastain for the incident, but Chastain was not at fault. Kevin Harvick spins out and collects Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Josh Berry, Chris Buescher, Harrison Burton, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Ty Gibbs, and BJ McLeod will end up falling in a wreck. Like I mentioned, we all thought it was Ross Chastain's fault, Chastain being Chastain, but it was not Ross Chastain's fault. It was just an error situation. You can't blame Ross Chastain for that, in my opinion. It was just a situation at these super speedways. So because all the lap cars had come down pit road with Denny Hamlin, who I think was almost leading at the time, he actually had contact with Ty Dillon on pit road. And then Ross Chastain, he got pushed in the grass and made up 2-3 positions on pit road. Eric Almirola actually once again winning the race off pit road. So when we go back, Green was 6 laps ago, where Eric Almirola leading the field from the outside, with Brad Keselowski on the inside, and Eric Almirola was able to clear for the race lead. Then, as we're going to commercial with 57 laps to go, the final caution of the race would come out for Eric Almirola, who would lose a tire in front of the field and unfortunately went up collecting Kyle Larson, Justin Haley, and Daniel Suarez. Kyle Larson has had terrible luck at super speedways and can't catch a break. Eric Almirola lose a tire. This is why you should put fresh tires on every single time. You should not be taking no tires. That was a bad move from Eric Almirola and unfortunately cost Kyle Larson a great day. But Eric Almirola is also trying to have a great day too because it's been a really frustrating year for Eric Almirola. Because of this, a couple drivers came down the road. Ross St. Mark Trick Jr. top off while everyone else stayed out. So on the final restart, you have Brad Keselowski lead the field from the inside, and Alex Bowman basically moved the third with Reddick basically on the inside, and we saw Brad Keselowski get a really strong push and get the lead from Tyler Reddick. Then we saw Joey Logano get the lead with help from Ryan Blaney about 10 laps later, but then a few laps later, Brad Keselowski was able to get to the race lead and held on to the lead as they're coming to 30 laps to go. Then at this point, it was going to be about can the inside lane catch the outside lane, or is the outside lane going to hold off the inside lane? Because Joey Logano had help from his teammates, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, while Brad Keselowski had help from his teammates, Tyler Reddick and the Toyota teammates, all up on the outside lane. As they're coming to the last lap of the race, Christopher Bell tried to go to the inside lane, trying to make a pass. It did not work, and we saw Reddick try to make a move as well on the last lap. Then Joey Logano got a really, really strong run coming down the backstretch. Brad Keselowski had the lead at the time, but Logano gets a very, very strong run and passes Brad Keselowski for the lead. And coming off the final corner at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Joey Logano makes the last lap pass at Atlanta Motor Speedway and picks up his first win of the 2023 season in pretty dominating fashion. He gets the win passing Brad Keselowski. Huge congratulations to Joey Logano on picking up the victory. Logano, in my opinion, completely deserves to win. Yes, he made a last lap pass, but let's see for real. That 22 was the fastest car all day, in my opinion. He led 139 laps, and those Penske cars and the Fords were very, very strong. And it was going to be very tough to beat the Fords this weekend. And like I said, Joey Logano absolutely deserves to win. Had a fantastic day, in my opinion, and gets a really strong finish in first. He deserves to win, in my opinion. Congratulations, Joey Logano, on getting Ford's first victory and locking himself in the playoffs, becoming the fourth driver to lock his way into the playoffs. So now we're going to go through the results of today's race, and I'll give you my score for today's race as well, and talk about Atlanta Motor Speedway as a whole. So Joey Logano picks up the victory. Brad Keselowski finished second. Brad Keselowski, what could have been? Keselowski was this close to picking up his first win in nearly 2 years. I'm telling you, though, this 6 team is going to win a race for the end of this year. They have been fast every single week. They got the finish they deserved. They led, I think, the second most laps of anybody in the field today. One of the few cars that really could contend with the Penske cars all day. And just a great day for Brad Keselowski overall. I'm telling you, I think Brad Keselowski is going to win a race or two by the end of the year. RFK is definitely back. And a fantastic run for Brad Keselowski in second place. Great run for him. Christopher Bell finishes third. A great run from Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell's been having a pretty good start to 2023 so far. And again, their top 5 finish is great to see for Christopher Bell. We're going to be talking about him later this week as well because he's going to run a truck race. But fantastic run for Christopher Bell. He finishes in third. How about Corey LaJoie finishing fourth? Outside of Phoenix this year, Corey LaJoie has been generally really, really good this season. And I know he wasn't up front all day, but he did a really good job getting their top 5 finish. He's really good at Atlanta, and LaJoie gets a very strong top 5 finish. I'm telling you, the chance of Corey LaJoie making the playoffs this year could be potential. I know we're only 5 races in. There's a lot of contenders that are below the cutoff line that had troubles today, but a great run for Corey LaJoie nonetheless in fourth. Fantastic run for him. Tyler Reddick finishes fifth. Great strategy from Tyler Reddick at the end of stage number 2, and after that, he never fell outside the top 5. He did a great job today. Another fantastic run for Tyler Reddick, who's had a couple really bad races at the beginning of the year, but he's really starting to turn a corner and gets a really strong top 5 finish. Great run from Tyler Reddick. Denny Hamlin finished at 6th. Denny Hamlin had a pretty good day as well. We know Denny Hamlin lost a lot of points at Phoenix, makes a lot of those points up at Phoenix by having a great run at Atlanta. 6th place is a great run for Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney finishes 7th. Great comeback from Ryan Blaney, who at one point was 3 laps down due to a speeding penalty. A fantastic recovery for that 12th team. And to finish in 7th position, great run for Ryan Blaney. Eric Jones finishes 8th, the first top 10, I believe, for Legacy Motor Club this season. It's been a struggling year for Legacy Motor Club this year. So happy for Eric Jones to finish inside the top 10 this weekend at Atlanta. Ty Gibbs finishes 9th. How about that for Ty Gibbs? I believe this is his first top 10 of the year so far. So Ty Gibbs kept his nose clean all day. Actually got on the outside wall late in the race, but bounced back to finish in 9th place. Great run for Ty Gibbs. And Kyle Busch gets a top 10, finishing 10th. Good run for Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch got trapped back there. It was very difficult to pass today because it's basically too wide a lot of the day. But nonetheless, a solid run for Kyle Busch today. Great 10th place. Not usually great at super speedways. So to come out this weekend with a top 10 is good, all things considered. Austin Cindric finished 11th. Cindric had a better car in 11th place most of the day. I think Cindric probably, to be honest with you, probably had a top 5 car a lot of the day. They were really strong near the end. They kind of started falling off, but still to finish in the top 15. Solid run for Austin Cindric. A really needed run. This could be a momentum builder for Cindric as we do go to COTA next week. Noah Gragson finishes 12th. That's Noah Gragson's first top 20 finish of the 2023 season. Noah struggled a lot of the year. He actually had some damage early in the race and was concerned about engine issues, but to finish in 12th place, pretty good run for Noah Gragson nonetheless. Ross Chastain finishes 13th. Very solid comeback for Ross Chastain, who was nearly gotten to the back of Kevin Harvick, but a great run for Chastain. 13th isn't fantastic, but a solid comeback for Ross Chastain at 13th. Alex Bowman finishes 14th. Unfortunately, the first time Alex Bowman has finished outside the top 10 still, has finished in the top 15 in all 5 races this year. A good run for Alex Bowman. Not a great run, but a good run nonetheless for Alex Bowman, and definitely help him in the points. This should almost put him back in the playoffs with this run today. Todd Gillen finishes 15th. Great run from Todd Gillen back in the 38th this week. Glad to see Todd Gillen finish in the 15th. He ran top 10 a lot of the day today, so he could definitely be underdog pick for a lot of people at the super speedway tracks going forward. Good run for Todd Gillen. A.J. Allmendinger finishes in 16th. Rick Stenhouse Jr., who led some laps in the latter stages of the race, he finishes 17th. Josh Berry, who had some damage from the big one, he finishes 18th. Very solid top 20 run. Josh Berry's now finished twice in the top 20 so far, so solid run for Josh Berry. Mark Truex Jr. comes back and finishes in 19th, but still not a great run for Mark Truex Jr. nonetheless. I'm telling you, I'm a little worried about Mark Truex Jr. making the playoffs this year because the finishes have not been there. And Austin Dillon finishes 20th. Austin Dillon, also a little worried about Austin Dillon. Austin has only had one top 10 finish so far this year, only 3 top 20s. Got to see some better performance for Austin Dillon going forward. Michael McDowell finishes in 21st. Justin Haley finishes 22nd. Ty Dillon gets his first, I think his second top 30 finish in a row, and his first finish inside the top 25. It's been a struggling year. Hope Spire Motorsports can build on this performance. Chase Briscoe, who once again, a bad run. Been a struggling year outside of Phoenix. Been a bad year for Chase Briscoe. He got some damage early. I don't think Fox ever caught that, but I think he's the one who got loose on the front stretch. He unfortunately finished 24th. Cody Ware finishes 25th. J.G. Gilley finishes 26th. Bubba Wallace after the spin and lap number 10. He unfortunately never recovered. Didn't get any laps back because the race ran green so long. He finished 27th. Ryan Preece finished 28th. Ryan Preece had, once again, electrical groans. It's been a tough year for Ryan Preece this season. 28th is the best he could do. Daniel Suarez finishes 29th after getting involved in the wreck and getting the DVP. Eric Almirola finishes in 30th after the crash. Kyle Larson finishes 31st after the crash. Tough break for Kyle Larson. Had a chance to win this race and probably could have contended with the Penske cars and was one of the few Chevys that really could contend throughout the day. William Byron finishes 32nd. 33rd for Kevin Harvick. 34th for Harrison Burton. Chris Buescher finishes 35th. And finishing 36th in last place is B.J. McLeod. So now let's talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give you my score for today's race. Now, in my opinion, I've been pretty adamant and outspoken that both the Xfinity Series race and the truck races were really, really bad. So I was very skeptical going into the Cup race. Now, the final stage, in my opinion, was really, really good. It was very, very good, and I think it was probably, for that section, I'd probably give that a 7 or 8 out of 10. It does not make up for the first 2 stages, though. The first 2 stages were pretty much single file. You had like 10 laps of side-by-side racing throughout the first 2 stages combined. Stage 2 pretty much had all of that, and it was single file altogether, and nothing happened through the first 2 stages. Now, this race gets a little bit salvaged, like I said, by Stage 3, because Stage 3, in my opinion, was pretty good. But the first 2 stages do not make up for Stage 3. Stage 3 was good, but Stage 1 and Stage 2 was pretty bad in my opinion. So my score for today's NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta, I'm going to give this race overall a 6 out of 10. I will say I did enjoy this race a little better than Las Vegas. I thought Vegas was pretty okay in my opinion, but I think that this race is better than Las Vegas. But that's about it, because the second half of this race really only saved by some good racing there. But outside of that, this race was not great in my opinion. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And still, though, the best race of the weekend. It was the best race for sure. You didn't have a bunch of wrecking. You didn't have a bunch of crashes throughout the race, but it still wasn't the greatest race in the world. So my score for today's race is 6 out of 10. And I want to say this. I don't want to keep having more Atlanta-style tracks once again, Atlanta Super Speedway tracks going forward, and turn Texas into a super speedway style race, because I think that's going to be pretty bad. So, that is going to be it for the NASCAR Cup Series race review from Atlanta Motor Speedway. I want to thank us for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on so you notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below over that. And comment below your thoughts below on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the console. And congratulate Joey Logano on picking up his first win of the 2023 Cup Series season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on my channel, we're going to have 2 videos on the channel. We're going to have the NASCAR news video on the channel. We got a lot of news to discuss, especially from the media this past week. And we're also going to have the Truck Series picks video on the channel as well. Tuesday will be the Xfinity Series race picks for Circuit of the Americas, and also the entry list for the Cup race. That might be the final entry list for a long time. And then Wednesday, we'll have another NASCAR news video as well. And also probably have the paint skin video drop late Wednesday as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's race review, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.